Hey guys, how's it going? I'm aware that I haven't been on stream or uploading on this channel in about a month, so apologies for that. I've got a few main channel videos that I'm currently uh, running through the pipeline and the editing process that are requiring more of my attention, so I haven't really gotten the chance to do a lot of streaming recently. Um, but I figured I would come at you. I figured I'd come at you. I just woke up. Please excuse my slurred speech. I figured I'd come at you with a bit of a reaction, sort of discussion video that I like to do for these Pokemon Presents presentations that the Pokemon Company likes to do every now and again. Um, my expectations going into this were not very high, at least in terms of new reveals. I did not expect really a new mystery dungeon or anything of that sort, even though I'd really like it. Um, we pretty much knew going into this that it would be going over games that had already been shown off to some extent. Um, my expectations were mainly just lying with Pokemon Legends Arceus because that is a game that I think has a lot of potential to change up the series for the better. Um, but the graphics that were shown off in the last presentation when it was actually revealed were really rough, and I did not exactly know how they were going to be changed. I was hoping that it would start to be brought up to par with games like Breath of the Wild. Um, Obviously, that's a lot to expect, but I think they're perfectly capable of it. I think they have the budget for it, especially since it's being developed in house by Game Freak. Um, they could definitely make something like that happen. This is not my first time viewing this, and I'm not going to view the whole thing. I'm just going to jump around to different little sections that I thought were worth noting. I'll give you my thoughts on each of them, etc. Um, I'm no authority on any sort of Pokemon development, that sort of thing. I'm no insider or historian with a knowledge of how Game Freak's games are developed. I can just tell you what I think I see and give an opinion on it. So, let's see here. A lot of the stuff about Pokemon Unite, I'm not super interested in. To be entirely honest, I've heard about some of the microtransaction uh, stuff that's gone on inside that game, and I'm just not interested. And the fact that it's a MOBA, I've played, I want to say like maybe 5 games of League of Legends in my life. Not the sort of game for me. And I have a couple friends who have played it pretty consistently, like daily. And the funny thing is, they say that they hate it, but they cannot stop playing it. Um, and I don't really want to have a relationship like that with a game that I play personally. Um, so yeah, Pokemon Unite, not for me. It seems like it's doing somewhat well. It seems like people are actually kind of enjoying it. And also the thing about Tencent, I'm not really interested in all that personally. My information on that is very limited, so I just have to go off of my gut feeling. And plus, I probably wouldn't play the game anyway. It's one of those weird spin-off situations that just because you put Pokemon in it doesn't mean that I'm gonna love it immediately. All right, let's see. Pokemon Cafe Mix, another thing that's not for me. I forget, is this game even on Switch? It most likely is. I'm trying to remember if it's like a Pokemon Quest situation where it came out on both mobile and console. But regardless, yeah, not a game for me. In the past, I have tried out a couple of the Pokemon puzzle games, like Pokemon Battle Troze, that sort of thing. It was fun, but at the same time, it's not something I'm super eager to go back to. Except, look at this, angry. All right. Um, that's probably the thing I'm most excited about with Pokemon Legends Arceus is just to increase focus on some of the best starters in the series, like Cyndaquil and Oshawott are getting like a revamped chance to like kind of shine in the spotlight, which I really appreciate. Pokemon Masters EX. I did try this game for a little bit. Um, I I don't know. I've already got one gotcha game in my life right now, and that's all I really need. Like I play Fire Emblem Heroes pretty frequently, and I don't really need another game to kind of scratch that gambling addiction itch that comes with these sorts of games. Yeah, I don't need to fall on that trap twice, personally. Um, and I don't know, the fact that all the Pokemon are tied specifically to characters. I don't know. I don't like. I just like the Pokemon. I'm not too big on a lot of the human characters. Uh, at least in Pokemon, there are some that I like, but overall, I'm not too big of a fan. Pokemon Go. I did play Pokemon Go this past weekend. There was an EV community day, and EV is an S tier. EV is an S tier starter Pokemon. So I actually didn't end up catching it because of the weird hours, since it was multiple days this weekend. But Pokemon Go, um, I really like Pokemon Go. I'm not as critical of a lot of the microtransaction shit, that I think a lot of other people are, just because I'm not that religious of a player of this game. I just play it whenever I remember to, or whenever there's a community day that I think I'm really interested in. But they're introducing Gen 8 Pokemon, which seems like a bit of a jump. They don't even have Gen 7 or all of Gen 6 yet, but whatever. I don't even think they have all of Gen 5 yet, but they have Oshawott, so it's kind of that's the main thing I cared about when they introduced that. Um, oh yeah, here we go. We got these nice little animations here about the starters of each game. I don't know. It's kind of nice. I seriously thought uh, Turtwig was going to land on its back, just like, and that'd be very sad. Um, okay, so the Diamond and Pearl remakes. I've already expressed a little bit of hesitancy towards getting these games, just because Diamond and Pearl, not my favorite games in the series, not ones that I particularly grew up with, even though I did play them when they came out. Um, I don't know, not wasn't super sold on them, but honestly, now they're looking a lot better. The art style is still not really what I'd prefer for a game like this. At least it seems like the overworld sprites are not exactly what I'd prefer, which kind of scares me at the eventual prospect of a Gen 5 remake, and having like these chibi characters. I don't know. It kind of rubs me the wrong way. At least when it goes into the battle, it actually looks a lot better. Um, Animations look actually pretty good. But yeah, it's just the overworld sprites. I understand that it's trying to be as faithful as possible, but it's just not really for me, I don't think. I'll be interested to see how many features they incorporate from like Sword and Shield. Like if you can have a Pokemon camp, or like a Pokemon some other sort of situation, like where you can pet them. I don't know. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. The thing with the the thing with the stickers on the Pokeballs, pretty funny actually. I've noticed that there are no letters on this like there used to be, um, which is very funny because people used to spell out some pretty ridiculous things, including some cuss words. Don't use cuss words. So they have pretty much seemingly abandoned the idea of being able to place letters on your Pokeballs and spell out heinous things, which I mean isn't unexpected. But I wish they, if there's one place where they're not going to be faithful to the original games, I find it weird that it's this. Just like, come on, let us write out our Pokemon's names. You don't have to be so cynical and suspicious of the audience where you're going to be like, they're going to be spelling out like the fuck word on this game. They're going to be spelling out ass on the Pokeballs. We can't let them do that. Come on, let us have our fun. Come on. It's not like you're aiding and abetting us in doing that. But I do think it's funny. It's pretty much just I don't even see what the point is in like letting you place your own on the Pokeballs themselves. I don't know. The contests seemed like they were revamped. It was never something I got too into, but I thought the idea of like each move having another like kind of quality to it, like beyond its normal typing and base power and PP, it was like each move is either like cool or cute or something like that. Um, I thought that was pretty neat. They expanded the underground quite a bit. They actually talk about this a good amount later into the video, so I'll skip ahead to that. But there are like different rooms you can find in the underground, which is actually really, really cool. It seems like this might be the way for them to incorporate a lot of the Pokemon that didn't appear originally in Diamond and Pearl, Pokemon that appeared only in Platinum, and maybe even Pokemon that, you know, came from future generations, although I don't think I see any indication of that yet. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Team Galactic and everything. A lot of heavy emphasis on Dialga and Palkia, although I will say I'm a little bit disappointed that there's no hint towards Giratina being in the game. Obviously, it's going to... No, scratch that. I know Giratina is going to be in the game, but whether or not the distortion world, that sort of thing, is actually going to be present in the game itself, because I know it's not a Platinum remake, it's a Diamond and Pearl remake. I understand that, but if they just release... I don't want to say that they should release it as DLC, because it'll be like a $30 DLC for sure. And that seems a little bit overpriced for something that should be in the game to begin with. But I don't know. I'd be surprised either way. If it's in it, I'd be surprised that they're taking that sort of risk. And if it's not in it, I'd be surprised, because when are we going to get another chance to see the Distortion world in a remake like this? It's like never. Because unless they do a Platinum remake, which just you'll be spitting in the face of everybody who bought the Diamond and Pearl ones, because Platinum is just the objectively better version of the game, in my opinion. Objectively, in my opinion. You know what I mean. I feel like just the amount of Pokemon in Platinum is so much better. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I think the graphics look a lot better. I'm still not... when I say they look better, I'm talking about from like a visual fidelity kind of perspective. Less so about... Oh, wait, I didn't even see this. Wait, let me go back a second. They made the UI look exactly like it did in previous game, like in the originals. I don't know how I feel about that, because it looks pretty much identical. I don't know. That looks kind of weird. Because there's just like, if you look down here, there's just a lot of empty space. I understand that's probably being left for status conditions and that sort of thing, but like all this empty space down here, it's like, it feels as though that space was meant to be fit onto a smaller screen. If this makes sense, just bear with me here. It looks like this space was designed to fit on a smaller screen on a non-HD console, just because of the limitations of what they were working with. I feel like they definitely could have changed this a little bit and made it a little bit different. But yeah, the Diamond and Pearl remakes, I'm not going to get them. I have a friend who's very much so into the game, into Diamond and Pearl. It's his favorite in the series. So I'll leave that to him. Maybe he can tell me how it is when it comes out. I believe it's coming out in November Let's see, November. Oh god, the renders on these characters. Look at him. He's like a bit cross-eyed here. The render on these characters is it's weird. I don't really like it. Something about how like shiny they are. It's I don't know, it's kind of bizarre. Hey, I'm just speaking from my own personal viewpoint here. Okay, the Grand Underground. So you place these statues, and they'll influence the type of Pokemon that you can find in the various hideaways here. I don't know how I feel about that because it feels. My favorite thing about the hideaways was being able to the secret bases was the ability to kind of make them just look kind of cool. But then you have to like basically in order to get like all the best Pokemon. Sorry, I just went into full screen. In order to get all the best Pokemon in these hideaways, unless there's a specific limit on the amount of statues you can put in your base, you'll just be pressured to just like shove every statue you can into the secret base. So that like because it says here also places down there called Pokemon hideaways, which didn't exist in Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl. Apparently, the Pokemon that appear in the Pokemon hideaways will change depending on which statues you have placed in your secret base. So I'm assuming there probably is going to be a limit to how many you can put in there, but it's like I want to make my secret base look like just like a cool little hangout spot, you know? Like that's what I would want to do. And the fact that you're tying it to what Pokemon you're placing in your base, unless you can have multiple bases, in which case I'll probably just have one where I just stick all the statues. I don't know why I'm saying I will do this. I'm not getting these games. But I don't know. It seems like a bit of a weird design decision. I usually like to make my base just look cool rather than using it for utility purposes, which seems like you'll be pressured into doing. Like it'll just be specifically, if you're not putting a bunch of statues in your secret base, you're kind of losing out on the functionality of it a little bit, which kind of sucks, but I don't understand the point of having to put them all over the place like this. It's like the effects seem pretty basic. Like you can't like organize them. And like if they're all just going to blow up like that, it's like just shoot, you don't have to place them on the ball itself. I don't know. It seems like it would just be something you can select rather than go in and put it on the ball. It's like a weird place that they've decided to be faithful but not faithful because there's no letters and anything. But I don't know. New outfits. That's a good idea. I mean, I'd imagine that it would be one of the things that a lot of people would expect from a remake like this. It wasn't in the most recent remakes, was it? Was it? Okay, no. Most recent remakes were Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which I think they did have that. But they didn't have it in the Gen 3 remakes, which is interesting. More information about contests. Again, it's just kind of weird. You kind of see the weird animation flourishes in this. Like, look at the way that look at the way they spin around here. It's just like they're rotated on like the Z axis or whatever. Like they're rotated where they're facing. It's not actually. I don't know. Forgive me for being overly critical, but I've been made aware through other people's criticisms of Pokemon's animations. Like I've been made aware of how, in a way, they are a bit lazy. So it's something that I kind of hyper fixate on when I see it happen. The Union Room is a very weird addition. It seems like such a product of the times, like back on the DS when they didn't understand what they were doing with like online connectivity. and like local wireless, that sort of thing. Um, it seems like such a weird inclusion, right? Like this is such a small room. It's like a weird, like you're being very, very faithful in this weird capacity. Um, this just seems like such a byproduct of when the games were released. I don't know. Just like with a remake, that's the sort of thing. With a remake, the Union Room is the sort of thing that should be phased out, in my opinion, and replaced with more, I don't know, more up to date online connectivity options. That's the best way I can put it. That it just seems like this is the sort of thing that should be phased out with a remake. The purpose of a remake isn't to deliver the same game again at a higher resolution. It's to like take the original game and add upon it, build upon it, um, retain the original style of the game, but at the same time make improvements where they're needed. And I think this is like one of those places that I think they really could have maybe changed it. At least just it's again just a blank green room with the one lady standing off in the corner. It's I don't know. I think they definitely could have made changes there. And I don't think anybody would really complain personally. Okay, now this is pretty great. Even though it's weird. This is weird too because look at the proportions on these people and then the Pokemon are normally proportioned. It's so weird. I mean, I like that they added it back. Um, it seems like it's going to be a prevailing thing in remakes going forward. Because it was in the Gen 4, excuse me, the Gen 2 remakes, Soul Silver and Heart Gold. It was in that, where I think it was done the best just because I think the pixel art style fits it the best. It was done in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, which also I think looked fine. I didn't actually end up playing those games, but I have seen a good amount of footage from them, and I think the following mechanic looks fine. But in this, it's just like they're not even chibi Pokemon. I guess. Can you even? They are cartoonish animals, so I guess I don't know. It's just it's bizarre. I wonder if these are these the battle models? I'm assuming that they are. Because I'd be surprised if they went through and made an additional world model for every other Pokemon. I'd be surprised, but anyway, yeah, I've got a few criticisms, especially where it comes to like being weirdly faithful to the games in ways that I think they could innovate and make them better. Um, because it's a remake, it's not a port, you know? It's a remake, not a remaster. If they just wanted to up-res the original games and put it on Switch, I'm sure it would probably sell just as well, but they're putting in the extra effort, so I don't know. I just have to give my thoughts personally. A new Switch variation, Dialga and Palkia edition. Art of Legendary Pokemon Dialga and Palkia, bringing to mind the special Nintendo DS Lite Onyx Dialga and Palkia edition. What a weird what a weird thing to reference. I mean, I'm sure this'll sell and people will get it both for the collector factor and if people just don't have a Switch and we're really waiting on the Diamond and Pearl remakes, but what a weird thing to be faithful about. It's just a repeated thing that I have brought up here, but it's like, why are you referencing the pack-in console? I don't know. It's a weird thing to get hung up on, so sorry about that. It's just like I don't know. I don't know. All right, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Arceus. Fuck, I can't not say Arceus or Arceus. That's just the way I've been saying it for 10 plus years, 15 plus years at this point. Um, you have to forgive me. Oh, this little animation, I love this. Looks like a Smash Bros. Fighter reveal, honestly. It's a lot less silly than the first one was for these three. So I actually kind of like that, you know? Um, uh, the fact that they said that this is being developed in-house by Game Freak both makes me confident and nervous. I think we might have known that going into this, but it was reminded. All right, so right off the bat, the first time I watched this, because I watched it pretty much right when I woke up, and I was like, this does look a lot better. Obviously, the resolution is a bit low. You can see it's like very choppy and blurry, but I will give them the benefit of the doubt on this and say that this is as a result of their capture software. Um, but in terms of like overall detail, I think it does look better. Less horrible frame rates on a lot of the Pokemon in the background, which was one of the main things that I think was really working against this game at its initial reveal. So this game is basically just the wild area, but expanded upon a lot, and I really appreciate that. Um, got a new evolution here for Stantler, which is interesting. I was not expecting them to actually, because the way that they title this game makes it sound like it is a side game, like it is a spin-off of the main franchise, you know? Um, so having them introduce brand new regional variants and evolutions is interesting. I'm wondering if they'll consider this to be a mainline game or not. I think they have reasons for not doing so as well, but I don't know. Okay, wait, but I do have a criticism here. Look at the textures on this on this outfit. Oh my god, look at that. It's clearly less complete than the ones on the playable character, which makes sense if they're on a super tight time constraint. Like obviously you want to make the player character, the one who's going to be at the center of your screen the entire time you're playing, look better. But damn, looks pretty rough. I'm wondering how much free control of the camera we'll have, at least in terms of like where can we move it and that sort of thing. Um, I mean this actually looks not half bad. The colors aren't super vivid a lot of the time. A lot of it's kind of washed out, but I get the feeling that's kind of a stylistic decision. The battles look actually pretty interesting, to be honest. Um, and look at this: the fact that they streamlined the Pokemon capture process, I really like that. It's probably more like Sword and Shield, where it's like sometimes it'll just shake once and then capture it. Oh God! This wait, look at this. Dead. Um, different methods of traversal. It's pretty neat. A Basculin evolution. I was not expecting that. Um, and Michael was actually talking about it like 2 days ago. the idea of having a Basculin evolution. Um, I wonder if there will be two different forms for it. Most likely. Yeah, I don't know. It looks the fact that they can attack you, that is really cool. I like the fact that they can actually hurt you. It's like, holy shit, like it's actually kind of scary. Like it not scary. I'm not like 2 years old, but it's um it adds a little bit of extra tension. It's like when you're running around, you can get like just jumped by a Machamp who will just like beat the shit out of you and then send you back to the town. That's actually fucking awesome. Um oh yeah, and they get into this too. The agile style and the power style, I think is how they put it. Oh, and you can like sit around with your Pokemon. That's so neat. I don't know. I just like this. Fun. That's scary, dude. It's freaky. Like you're getting attacked. I kind of like the fact that they're keeping a lot of the info about Arceus very close to their chest. A little bit of cute animation there. I really like this box art. It looks so much better than the just the what the it looks so much better than the rendered versions of the legendaries that are constantly where is it? Where I'm trying to find the box art for these games, but um it looks so much better than just the render on the plain background. And I understand this is kind of trying to reference again the original games, but like just in terms of visuals, this is so much more interesting. I really like this. It was just this handcrafted painting, very clean art style. Oshawott is in it down here. Perfect. Pikachu's looking up at the camera. It's like it just has so much more personality. It's like I would be fine with this becoming the standard style for every other Pokemon game. But yeah, I think overall visually it looks at least a little bit better. I'm feeling a little bit more confident um, about what's happening. They call the region the Hisui region, um, which I feel like might cause a bit of confusion. um, I understand that it's before they actually ended up naming it the Sinnoh region, but I feel like it's probably just going to be confusing for a lot of people when they're discussing, I don't know, regions and whatnot. I do think a lot of the visual problems can be chalked up to their capture software, but I do like uh, how the game looks so far. I think it could definitely use a bit more polish. Um, and there are a few certain animation things with Pokemon games that I don't think they're going to escape anytime soon. Um, just like the way characters stand around like this. I don't know. And like the way that they talk. Something about it. Just like the mouths. I don't know. It's kind of inescapable. When you're looking at them up close, hard to it's kind of hard to ignore it. So we got new characters. Doesn't seem like there's going to be gyms, which I'm actually fine with. As long as they fill the rest of the game with enough compelling content, I'm fine with it. I do like these character designs. I just think in 3D it looks a little bit rough, especially some of the texturing. It's I don't know. Like wait. Let me go back down here. How does this bit look so good and then this bit is just like very rough? I don't know. That's me looking at his little insignia on his top here. It's like it's just like how is that so low resolution? Duty of the Survey Corps is to observe and catch Pokemon to shed light on how they live. So look at this. Essentially, there are a lot of Pokemon in this game that will not even like attack you or run away or anything. When you get close to them, you can just go up to them and throw the Pokeball and catch it. I kind of like it because obviously it makes the game so much easier and breaks up the normal gameplay loop of Pokemon, which I don't really have a problem with. I like it because it gives credence to the idea that Pokemon don't just immediately attack everything they see. And then there are some Pokemon that aren't super territorial that are actually kind of friendly, you know? They talk about these camps that you can find, and there's crafting, which makes a lot of sense. And it seems like there's going to be a good amount of stuff to craft. Hopefully it goes beyond just this, 20 items. I'm hoping you can find a lot of stuff. And the fact that this crafting really rewards exploration and like coming back to the game over and over again. So I like that. They brought back the heavy ball, which I haven't seen in a long time. And I think that'll be, oh shit. Wait a minute. The heavy ball is like one of those, yeah, it's one of the apricorn balls. Apricorn. Assuming you can find those pretty consistently, the market for these balls, because I know that they're pretty sought after, a lot of the apricorn balls. At least when it comes to people who like to collect a bunch of Pokemon and shinies and whatnot. Depending on how easy it is to get these, that might really change the economy, quote unquote, for these balls. Yeah, you can black out if you take too much damage from Pokemon, which I think is awesome. I was originally thinking they weren't going to include a feature like that because it would seem a little bit too violent. It's like, oh my god, I can get attacked by wild animals. Like that's how they perceive that we would react to it. But no, they're actually taking that risk, and I appreciate that. So it's going to be a lot of quests, I think, doing a lot of quests, a lot of side quests. Catch Pokemon. Get close to them and aim carefully. I wonder if we'll be able to do like 360 no scope Pokeball throws. That'll be pretty cool. You'll find that not all species of Pokemon react the same way when they spot you. For example, some Pokemon will immediately flee, so you want to hide in tall grass when you approach them. And then some of them will just like try and kill you. So the reduced emphasis on battles is actually pretty interesting. And then the battles themselves are also really neat because they genuinely changed up the way that it works. Depending on how fast your Pokemon is, you can do multiple attacks in a row. There's no need to wait your turn, which I actually really like. I do like this. It changes the battles enough where it feels like an actual innovation. And you can like kind of you'll see that you can change the style between making the move take longer and give up maybe a potential turn, or you can make it faster and move multiple times now, which I actually really like. will decrease the move's power, but the Pokemon's action speed will be raised, which I think is interesting because what about stat changing moves? Like, will you be able to just do, just use, what is it? Maybe it'll decrease accuracy or something of status moves or debuff moves, that sort of thing. Because I feel like it'd be pretty broken if you can just use if you like use the speed style, for instance, use speed style swords dance twice in a row, and then your Pokemon is just buffed to shit, and you can kill anything you attack. Yeah, looks pretty fun, honestly. And the fact that you don't go into a separate screen, I like that too. I like that you can just like immediately enter battle where you're standing. Um, I wonder if like the terrain will have any sort of effect, like the fact that Gastrodon's on a higher plane than Lucario. I don't imagine it will, because that might get a bit complicated for uh, the average Pokemon fan, quote unquote. Okay, so the Pokedex. I'm actually really interested to see what this. Look at this. Each Pokemon has its own like unique set of quests that'll give you additional info. Like you're actually doing research on these Pokemon. That is so cool. You don't have to just catch each Pokemon once and then you just fully understand everything about them. You actually can see, like, you have to catch them multiple times, defeat them multiple times, defeat them with certain moves, see what type of moves they like to use, number of forms you registered, which I don't know about Shinx. Like, maybe there's multiple regional variants for Shinx here, but this is really good. This is really going to play into the gameplay loop. It's going to take forever to complete a Pokedex in this game, which I'm actually fine with. I actually like having these tasks that you can constantly work towards. Obviously, it's going to be kind of weird having to run around and just kill 15 Shinx in a row. But it makes sense. You can't base like excuse me for going into like weird scientific terms about this, but you can't base everything you know about a species off of one individual. You have to like replicate. You have to replicate your experiments and your observations to make sure that they apply to, if not the entire species, then every individual in this area. You know, I don't know. I'm blowing smoke out my ass right now, but I like this. I like this a lot. Really feeds into that gameplay loop. And they have preferred foods and everything too. So I'm assuming you can actually probably. Oh no, forms. Okay, wait. Excuse me. When I said regional variants, I guess I'm wrong. It's just they have different forms depending on whether it's a male or a female. So that's just my fault. But yeah, I think it's shaping up to look a lot more fun than I was expecting it to be. They're incorporating a lot of like different collection mechanics, like the crafting and the having to catch Pokemon and defeat them multiple times. Like I think there could be a really interesting moment in this game where, so let's say there's a certain Pokemon, right? That's very easy to catch. Is not hostile in any way when you fight it. Or no, is not hostile in any way when you approach it. You can just catch it immediately. It doesn't shake or anything. It'll just join you in the Pokeball. But then, in order to complete the second task, you'll have to go in and fight it. And despite the fact that it's so passive, it just is super strong, super high leveled. That would be a really cool like subversion of expectations. I think they could do. I don't know how I feel about this Stantler evolution. This Basculin evolution's pretty fucking sick, though. I'm interested to see how the blue version will turn out. if it exists. Not too different, honestly, but I was never a big Braviary fan anyway. And this is just funny. I like the Growlithe regional variant. Um, yeah. And then I wonder what Arcanine is going to look like. Is it just going to be a mountain of fur? Is it just going to look like a Stoutland? Growlithe's soft fur is an excellent insulator. Another thing that would be cool is if you could, like, collect fur from Pokemon. Like, if you could take, like, shears to this Pokemon and then collect some of it. Collect some of the fur, which you can use for crafting. There's a lot of potential with what they've shown so far, and I think I'm actually pretty excited for what's going to happen with this game. I talk a little bit about Arceus, and God damn it, I can't say Arceus. I'm sorry. You'll just have to live with it. Visually, it still looks a little bit rough around the edges, of course. But it does look better than it did last time. And it's... it comes out in, I believe... Okay, it comes out in January, late January 2022. And the pre-orders are open, which I might go and do for this one. How far away is that now? It's the 8th month right now. We're approaching... So it's like 5 months away. So I'm pretty excited for this. And I've got my criticism of these ones, but I don't know. Those criticisms might have existed in previous generations with their remakes, like Heart Gold and Soul Silver and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. They might have existed back then too, and I just was not aware of it because I wasn't actively paying attention to it. But this is looking really interesting. I'm very excited to see what actually becomes of this game over here. They're gonna bring Pokemon Home support, which hopefully it works both ways, because I would like to transfer my shiny Oshawott into Pokemon Legends Arceus. That's just the way I'd like to do it. Even though it would probably be over-leveled and wouldn't listen to me. But once that Oshawott Community Day comes around, that's the real thing that's that's the only thing that's really keeping me attached to Pokemon Go, is the idea of an Oshawott Community Day. But yeah, I think overall, here, I'm gonna go back to a certain... Oop. I think overall, I was generally pleased with this presentation on at least on the end of Legends Arceus, because I think it looks pretty good. Honestly, it looks fun. I can't say that the graphics look spectacular, but I can say that it does look a lot more fun than it did back then, when we had very little information about it. The fact that they've introduced these new systems, like the checklist for having to catch every Pokemon multiple times, or battle it and hit it with certain moves, that sort of thing. As long as they make the rewards for that meaningful, I'm sure I'll probably do a good chunk of it, just because I'm a weird completionist type with this sort of game. I think, yeah, for sure. I think it definitely looks interesting, and I'm very excited to see what becomes of this. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I pretty much just rambled for about 50 minutes, so I hope if you watched it, you enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts are about these games. You might be more critical than I was, or less critical. Who knows? I'm just excited to see Oshawott back in the spotlight again. This might open the door for some more Oshawott merch at some point. Which, listen, I'm not a big merch collector. I'm not the sort of person who likes to spend a fuck ton on plushies or, you know, action figures, that sort of thing. Just because I don't know, that's just not who I am. But you know, if there's like a new Oshawott little figure or something, I'd get it. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I'm talking about random shit right now. I hope you enjoyed this. If nothing else, I hope you enjoyed my criticisms. Look forward to more main channel content soon. I don't know when I can stream next, just because I don't know. It's streaming is the sort of thing that I have to wait for certain circumstances to align in order to be able to do it to the level of quality that I like. So, I don't know. The next thing I think I want to stream is Guilty Gear Strive, because I've been playing a lot of Anji Mito in that game, and he's a very fun character, so I think that would be a fun stream to do, since I only played Ramlethal on my first stream of that game. Anyway, hope to see you again soon. Main channel content most likely coming this week, depending on how much I can do. Anyway, hope to see you soon. Take care and stay safe, all right? Shit seems like it's getting bad again, so take care of yourselves, take care of your friends and family, your loved ones, and yeah, hope to see you soon.